Welcome back to Just Kicking It. My name is Soy. I'm with the homie
Polo Show.
And we have a very special guest in the building.
You know what time it is. Trenchy boy.
Thank you for being here, my friend. Yeah, so this is Just Kicking It. Before we go any further, if you're on YouTube right now and you're watching this, you need to subscribe and you need to drop a comment because it helps us. And there's a little notification thing where you get notified when we drop like music videos and all that. So it's quality content, so make sure you subscribe. If you're on Apple Music, give us 5-star, or Apple, whatever, the podcast thing, give us 5 stars, and then follow us on Spotify as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's do this. First topic for global news is Kirk Franklin's son. So if you're not familiar with Kirk Franklin, he is a preacher. He's been on, I know him because of Life of Pablo, actually. I just remember him being on there.
Oh, he was on there.
And then, yeah, he's like a preacher. He's like a famous pastor, which is a weird thing to say. But yeah, so his son basically went on social media and was calling out his dad, being like, hey, he's not the nicest to me. I don't accept. So yeah, we were just going to talk about it because it's kind of, as I think when you're like a pastor, you're held to a higher expectation. So when people hear you do stuff that's like normal, everyday family stuff, it's unexpected. What do you guys think about that?
But yeah, I don't know. It's not just that he said on social media that, his dad says shit to him. Is that he literally posted a video, right? Like there was a video posted of what his dad like said. And it like literally, so I guess they saw this other side of the dad, right? I didn't see the video. And his dad was saying stuff like, you're a bitch ass. I don't know the context of that. But yeah, man, he posted that video. So obviously that's not a good look for the dad. Dad's obviously like DMing you, take that shit down.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up post was like, like, yo, I've been through the scars. Like, you guys don't know what I deal with. Again. So I don't know. There's two parts to this. There's obviously the, that's your dad, bro. Like, keep this shit off social media. Yeah. And then there's the, what's his dad doing? What was the context of the situation that you're calling your son a bitch ass?
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. So it's a pretty crazy dynamic. How do you feel about it?
I honestly think his son kind of threw him under the bus, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? But like, family, I don't know, man. You have issues with your family, man. You're going to always have issues with your family, but I feel like that's what it makes it family, you know what I'm saying? But, who knows how the relationship between Kirk Franklin and his son is. So
yeah,
he did say, Kirk Franklin did say, I'm going to kick that fucking ass. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I remember him saying that. So I'd be pretty cheesed too if somebody came up on me and told me they're going to kick my ass on social media. My dad said that,
well, he's the one that posted his dad's.
Yeah, he is the one that posted it.
So he's like, you put that out there to the world. You didn't, So yeah, I it's the two parts to it. Obviously it's fucked up what his dad is doing, but then there's obviously the, come on, man, that's your dad. Like, we don't know the full story. We don't know what the fuck you did to deserve that. And you're just posting the one side of the video, the aftermath.
So I don't know. There's 3 sides to the story: his side, the dad's side, and then the truth. So
yeah, exactly.
Whatever's going on is going on.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys a bit where I'm just like, I think it should stay off social media. I kind of think it's a lower blow to even do that because I don't know. I've been in situations with my family where it's been like, it's gotten super heated, but I would never go on social media and be like, they said this, or like post a video.
6ix9ine shit, bro. Like videoing it and posting it. Like that's
crazy. I don't know. There is probably more to it. And the fact that he posted it, maybe he does need to get his ass kicked. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so hopefully that turns out okay. It's a very stressful time, and it's probably really hard being a pastor that's really well known, because it kind of defeats the purpose of like a lot of those like big like organizations that are like making millions of dollars, and these pastors have like private jets and all that stuff. That kind of disturbs me, to be honest with you. It's like, what are you even doing? Like, what is the point of what you're doing? I don't know if that's Kirk Franklin necessarily, but yeah. As far as family goes, I feel like it's just the right thing to do would just be like deal with it in a personal matter, because family is much deeper than anything else, really.
No one wins when the family feuds, my G.
Yo,
Word to Jizz.
Yeah. So on to the next topic. Probably the biggest news this week. Oprah was sitting down with Prince Harry and Meghan. What's her last name?
Markle.
Sat down with them, and they were basically describing their time in the royal family and kind of how fucked up it was, and kind of brought up how she was not even alluding. She was basically saying people, she didn't give any specifics, but she said some people were asking like what the color of the baby was going to be and stuff like that. And then Oprah's sitting there like, what? Like, but I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, so I definitely think this is some racist shit going on in the palace. For me, I definitely, my younger sister is always like, idolized, not, I wouldn't say idolized, but, always like romanticized the idea of, marrying a prince and, just the whole like kingdom stuff, that's what Disney plays into as well. So she always like, she fucks with the monarchy. She's into a lot of like historical like stuff like that. But for me, I just have never respected the monarchy. And like in this day where for the most part, democracies work out, like it just, to me, like having a king and queen of anything is just bullshit to me. It's just like, it's just so stupid, so that's just me prior to this interview. That's just how I feel about like a monarchy in 2021. You know what I mean? Like, what are you the king of and queen of? You know what I mean? We're still gonna vote, so have elected officials make the decisions for us. It's just a title now. You guys are just, this system you have is literally from like the 1600s. You're just keeping this going for no reason. Anyways, so there's a bunch of bullshit with the system. It doesn't need to exist, and so that's why we keep falling into shit like this. Anyway, so then we come into this, and basically, Meghan Markle is saying that someone, she can't say who, but it wasn't the queen or the king or
I feel like she only said that because she didn't want to get Princess Diana. Like
exactly. So she's like, it wasn't like, yo, please let me let me keep my head. That was what that was. Like, yo, I know I'm in the line of fire right now, but this is me waving the
white flag.
The white flag. Yeah. So yeah, how convenient. It wasn't the queen or her husband. It was one of the higher ups that said to her that was.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that shit. I'm not even surprised, to be honest. Like shit. Like there's been so much shit that happened in like the last couple of years. Like when like I think it was it Gucci or Louis Vuitton. Somebody said some racist stuff, and then they came out like later on. They came out with like I don't know. Oh, was it like a black dude with like the big lips on the shirt or whatever? And like these were like high ups like doing racist shit like this, So I'm not really surprised to see.
For me, it's like this system of monarchy, the Windsor family, or whatever the royal family is, has been going on since like, the 1600s. It's like, the system is basically what they're saying is one of the higher ups was concerned. They're like, yo, if the child is a bit darker skinned, we don't know if we can give them a title and we don't know if we can give them protection, basically is what they're saying. And to me, it just seems like your system is just so dated, it's just this monarchy this tradition you're trying to maintain is so old and dated that it's like, to you guys, it's like the world has evolved to this point where this can happen, but it's like, to you guys, it's like, damn, I'm sure it's written in a fucking rule book from the 1700s, like, yo, none of the princes can marry black women, we cannot have any color, I'm sure, as fucked up as that is to say, what I mean? It's just in 2021 they're trying to enforce this, and it seems like so bizarre, but it's like, that's just my take on it. The whole monarchy is bullshit. What does the queen do? Why is the queen on our money? You know what I mean? Like, what is her job? What the fuck? Like, I don't know.
She's just old.
Well, she's still alive.
I don't know.
So, yeah, it's definitely racist. Definitely the whole. Well, just the whole. They said they're concerned that if the child is darker skinned, then we're not going to be able to protect the child. Not that we can't afford to. It's just like, and then, yeah, like we can't give the child a prince title. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that's oppression right there. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And obviously she said a bunch of other stuff. People feel a way about it. Some people feel like she was being too dramatic or whatnot. There's a whole audience of people, or maybe it's just like the UK population that respects the crown, and they feel like regardless of what Meghan said about, being depressed, it felt like she was going to kill herself and they were locking her up, didn't want her to say anything. Like, you can't go on TV. It's kind of like what we're saying with this Kirk Franklin shit, like all this bullshit that went down with his dad. Why did he go on social media with it? That's kind of like what they're saying. It's like, yo, you need to respect the crown. Like, this is a tradition that exists. We honor the crown in our country, and here you are just airing your shit out. You're disrespecting the crown on TV. This is another side. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely the other side of fuck the crown, fuck the queen. Like,
hey, man.
Fuck that racist bitch. Like, it came from the queen. Like, all that. That was definitely Meghan Markle trying to keep her head. Like, yeah, someone higher up said this to me, but it was not the queen. Like, what the fuck?
Who was it? I want to know. I don't know.
That's like one of the Godfather's henchmen just saying, like, yo, I was sent from the family, but it wasn't that dude. Hey, well, you can blame anyone else, you know what I mean? Like, but it wasn't that guy. That's the dude that's gonna get me killed.
Probably got some get out shit going on there, I swear.
Yeah, for real.
Got like some transferring consciousness going on there. And they're probably locking down, like they have them locked down in a basement, like round tables where they make all the decisions at.
Have you seen I think his name is Archie. So the baby they have, their first child, Prince and Harry and Meghan.
Oh, really?
So Archie was the first child. Yeah. So they're about to have a second child, and Archie literally looks like a fucking white baby, man. Like this, there's not a concern in the world for them to not, and that he doesn't have his title. So he was the one that I think when she was pregnant, they came with that concern. And so right now he doesn't have protection or his title. We just know him as Archie. He should be Prince Archie. But yeah, it was basically, and that's even the issue was she mentioned it to Oprah was that they asked her when they came to her and said this, that, oh, we're concerned that the baby might be darker. We shouldn't, so we don't want to give the baby the title. The next day in like the British tabloids or the news, like it was just a headline, like Meghan has chosen to not let her son have the title of prince. You know what I mean? So they made it look like it was her that did that, or that's what she alleged. So I don't know. It's definitely some fuckery going on. And so between, I don't know, we never talk about like Diana on here, but is it a known fact that the palace had something to do with Diana's death? Or is that just a conspiracy? I feel like that's definitely it's just like we can't just come out and say that. You know what I mean? Like
there's actually I think it's a post like a article saying that the Queen, when Princess Diana died, the Queen, the first thing she said was the brake pads must have been greased. So, and then the tabloids they got on that, and then they started asking her about it, and she actually claimed that she admitted that she didn't say that, and she like was like, I'm not saying anything else, like, you know. So there is something going on that's pretty fishy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's crazy, man. This is obviously some, I don't know, man. Like, why is there a family that has power that isn't like, you know what I mean? To me, I don't know. It's just like just generational power that we're allowing them to have. Anyway.
I think it was just more based on tradition, and I do think that there is like probably some sentimental value, like you were saying, like playing devil's advocate. There's probably sentimental value in the royal family, and at least on the surface level, you look at it and you probably wouldn't see the inner workings of like the evil shit that they could be actually doing. You know what I mean? Like you just see it as like, oh, that's the Queen. She's old and she's on money, and like, you know, I don't know. I do think there is like a issue with having like a certain person just like continuously having power, because power corrupts, right? So, but I don't even know what kind of power they have. Like, what can they even do? They just wave.
I'm not sure, man, but I just feel like it doesn't need to exist, man, because that's where these problems come from.
This is their job.
I was gonna say, did you? We talked about Jeffrey Epstein last week, and I remember in the documentary. Do you know about the situation with Jeff Epstein, Trenches?
The child, was it the child?
Yeah, he was definitely
hostage or whatever.
Yeah, he was raping like young women, basically.
Wasn't there like famous names in that?
What do you mean? Like, yeah, exactly. He was. Well, I don't know about Will Smith, but his whole thing was like Trump was one of his associates, like, and Andrew, like Prince Andrew, one of the people in the royal family, was in the documentary as well. He was basically like, his whole thing was like, he just like to have sex with younger girls, so he would like pay them to be like a misuse and like take advantage of them. And you would have like an island which was called like Sex Island or whatever, and like a lot of like diplomats would like fly to the island, and it was obviously like, that was just like his, like, you know, it was just like a hush hush, like, you can come and sleep with like young girls. And that was what the documentary was about. Like, all these girls are grown up now, like just telling their story. And so yeah, Prince Andrew, literally, I'm pretty sure this one of the close relatives of the palace. He's literally one of the people in the palace. I don't know what his exact relationship is, but he has the title. Was in the documentary. He's like one of, you know, so many pictures with Jeff Epstein. And one of the girls who's like the main person that was doing the documentary, one of the girls who was like Jeff Epstein's like main one that he would fly around, was like, said like, yo, that was the one, like that was the guy that, like, she's been with Andrew basically. And that's what she was saying, that Jeff Epstein had, you know, arranged it multiple times. And anyways, it was the dude went on TV with it. They interviewed him and they asked him, and it was just like, it's so weird because he got caught off guard. Like they after the whole Jeff Epstein documentary aired, like he went on some kind of British news, and when he was on there, they were asking him about this girl, and he was just like denying. He was like, I've never seen this girl. And then the anchor pulled out a picture, like literally had a picture supplied by the girl, right, of like a night that they met. He has his arm over the girl, like he's smiling in the picture, like, what about it? And, you know, she catches him on the spot and he just like, he chokes, you know, and literally we've not seen him in the public light since then. So it's literally, and this is another, like, that guy's is a known child molester, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like the power of the crown is why he's not going to be touched. Jeff Epstein was actually like prosecuted, right? He went to jail, and then that's some other shit, just because that's another speculation. People believe that because he had so many, like, if he had if he had turned, he would have basically turned on a lot of his powerful friends. So people believe like he just used like some fucking power to get rid of him, because basically he hung himself in his cell, but like there's no security cameras, there's no security that was there at the time, you know, literally just in a maximum security prison, he was able to just commit suicide. Like I think a night before his like prosecuting trial.
We know the truth.
Yeah, so it was like, it was the invisible hand. It was literally the queen, man. It was literally like, yo, we can't have this guy out there talking some shit.
Kill him. He knows too much.
But these are all speculations, and it's just like, it's kind of like, it's like public knowledge. There's like, yo, some shady shit is going down, but it's like, no, that's the crown. You know what I mean? We can't disrespect the crown,
dude. Yeah.
This is why I like bring up like my sister, because she definitely like she fucks with this shit. You know, she like that's her shit. You know, there's definitely girls who like, it was a whole thing. I know a lot of girls who were like, damn, envied Meghan Markle when, you know, she got to marry a prince, right? That's like the fairy tale situation for most girls. So there's a whole, what's the word? Lifestyle, a culture, community around the kingdom, you know, so even as fucked up as it is, there's something you're a part of, that there's a kingdom.
Yeah.
You're not part of the family, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's fucked up. But yeah.
Dude. Yeah. You got limited access to do whatever the fuck you want as long as you know the family, the crowd. You know?
But, yeah. Speaking of like kind of people's opinions on this, like Piers Morgan recently was like, I guess he was on his talk show, and he kept trying to discredit Meghan, or at least just bring up another side to the argument. He was basically saying, I don't believe her. And then he stormed off because I'm pretty sure everyone on the panel was like, what the fuck? And then he like quit his job.
On live television.
Yeah. And then got up, quit. The show's called Good Morning Britain, so we don't live in the UK, disclaimer, but I'm sure that's a popping show in the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically, I saw a clip, and what he said was just like, you know, would it be racist if you had a mixed couple in your family, you know, and you were to ask, like, you know, basically like a white and black family member, you were to ask them like, hey, what color is that baby gonna be? You know, is that...
I feel like it does depend on the context of the situation, don't you think?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
If you're asking like jokingly, or like there's a possibility of that.
I don't know. How do you feel about the trenches?
Shit, yo. I mean, it's a thin line, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're kind of joking or not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's not. I don't know what joke you could like. You have to hit me with
like,
you can't just like,
bro. Like the thing is, like, yo, you already got like a whole stigma. Like, if like, you know, like you got to realize Meghan Markle is like the only black person to ever touch this family.
Exactly.
You know, so like, even just to like joke around like that, like that's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it'd be too soon. If that's the way to say it, that's like you exactly. That's like you coming to a new like me and like dating a white girl, and I get introduced to her family, and like, you know, maybe the older brother just comes and like puts his hand on my shoulder and says, make sure you're tired for dinner, you know, we're gonna get our get out, you know, hypnotist shit together, you know, just jokingly like that. It's like, no, that's not funny, it's
bro.
It would be like the like you know how like after slavery, like maybe a couple years, and then some white dude goes to a black guy like, oh, you're a free man, huh? Like, you know, or some shit like like, yo, it's too soon, you know.
Maybe
like,
I just have a really dark sense of humor, and I apologize.
No, I do too. Like, you know, but I feel like,
no. And we know from like, it wasn't just like, hey, what color is that baby?
And honestly, the way she looked,
it was a full sentence.
The way she looked too, Meghan Markle, like the way she looked, like, I don't think like she took it as like I don't think the situation was a joke. You know what I'm saying? Because even like the way she like explained it. You know, there's people that's came up to me and asked me what color the baby's gonna be. Like, what's the color of the baby gonna be? You know, like I feel like in situations like that, I feel like
I'm like, what the fuck? Should I take a look at the ultrasound and tell you?
You know,
Like, that's just fucking. What the fuck do you want me to do? How should I answer that question?
you know what I'm saying?
Nah, and exactly, it was literally the full question. The full sentence was, or question was, what color is that baby? You know, we're concerned that if that baby is darker, so before they've even gotten an answer, we're concerned that if that baby is darker, then you know this. So already that whole sentence was racist. You know, so it's not. It didn't just end with what color is that baby.
It's fucked up.
And yeah, just what color is that baby is like. Come on, that's like. You can ask, is that a boy or a girl? You can ask, like, how much is the baby gonna weigh? But it's like, what color is that baby? Is like, who the fuck are you?
Think, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Sensitive topic.
Very.
It's definitely.
Nah, it's straight. I just think it's too soon.
Shit. Yeah.
I'm walking on thin ice. But yeah. So hopefully things kind of pan out more for her. I definitely don't want her to have suicidal thoughts. I can't imagine. I mean, that'd be really like traumatic, just like going into a situation like you guys are saying, like kind of going into it and like having this idea of like what being like a princess is, and like having this like fantasy like coming to life, and then realizing it's like, oh, this is like really, really dark, and like everything is actually kind of fucked up, and everyone's kind of racist here, and like it's like almost going into somewhere and like being like, I don't really belong here. Yeah, I can imagine that would be, even though she lives a life of luxury, like everyone has, you know, you shouldn't discredit someone because of like their lifestyle. Like if she really did feel that way, then I do hope things do end up working out. And you know, I really hope that like this kind of opens the conversation to do something about like this type of behavior that is still going on, you know? But I guess only time will tell. Okay. On to our fourth topic in hip hop news. Drake, he is on his way. Originally, it was projected. I saw this too. Like academics posted, like he was going to sell like 100 and something thousand.
113K. Yep.
And so now, I guess he's projected to do like 1 million off of 3 songs.
Yeah,
which is
that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. Like I don't know the last time I even saw a number in the hundreds, you know, for a rap release. You know,
gold status.
So that's like, you know, like so.
I didn't expect that at all.
Crazy.
Crazy. You guys, I'm assuming, have been listening to it throughout the week. It's been out for like a week now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the tracks are on Drake's level? Because I feel like he just puts out some of the best bodies of work of any artist, I feel.
Yeah.
And when I first heard the songs, I was like, oh, these are okay. But then I started listening to them more and more. I was like, damn, these are actually, why are these fire? Like,
yeah,
I'm mad. Like, I want to hate, but I can't.
Yeah, I fuck with all 3 tracks, man. I think he rolled them out cleverly. They said, What's Next is on track to be #1 on billboards. And yeah, that leaked. And honestly, the fact that did you see that leaked before the release?
Yeah, I did. But it was called "What a Time to Be a Slime," right?
Yeah, the fact that leaked before this release so soon is proof to me that Drake is in control of these leaks. So that leak was strategically placed. You know, we're all like, "Oh, what's this new Drake song?" He always changes the name. It's always like a different name when it comes out. So I'm like, I wonder when I'm gonna hear this.
Yeah.
And it comes out with a video. You know, it's the top of the 3-pack. So, you know, when I think of Drake, I think Drake is a team. You know, Drake is I think it's a bunch of people making good decisions. That's why the music gets to us always. Like, you know, it's timing, it's marketing, it's everything. So yeah, man, I think his team is just killing it, man. Are they going to do another 10 years? We'll see.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT. You know, for him to put out 3 songs and they all slap, and you know, and I don't know. I don't know like who put out 3 songs like this, and then they just like were number one first. It was one of the songs was number one for so long, and then, but you know, it's good shit. Last year he did. I don't know, not was it last year. It was like 2 years ago. Was it? He put out his first Scary Hours, and then God's Plan did like 1 billion on Spotify. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty big bar he set for himself with God's Plan. That shit went 10 million sold. Like,
yeah.
It's like, how you gonna beat that, bro?
Yeah. No, of course. God's Plan was fucking crazy, man. I think, yeah, he said it as well in the interview. Like, they just been planning for that, right? Like, it was just some shit they put out. And then, yeah, it just was his biggest record. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm happy with the music. I'm happy with these numbers, man. Again, I just feel like all of us here are artists. And, you know, what we're witnessing is Drake is definitely the artist of the generation that we watched. And we're just witnessing him just run, you know, into another generation and still holding the baton running, you know. So it's like, it's just motivation for us. It's like, look how far this shit can go. I think he had a bar about that, like started in the basement. Look how far this shit would take it.
Yep.
But yeah, crazy shit.
Very cool. So next topic, we got sacrilegious saying. Jay-Z culture vulture? I don't know. I guess this was academics who's been kind of the leading person with this conversation. We talked a bit about it last week.
I feel like this is the first time academics to speak some sort of facts. You know.
So you agree with him?
Yo, I agree. I feel like academics is always gonna talk. People hate academics because they're always gonna say the truth. That's how I feel.
Him and Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him and Charlemagne are on the same level. Maybe Charlemagne's on a higher level.
I agree. I feel like academics, what his problem is, he's also just petty. You know, I feel like he's a genius.
He's also, he's very petty
as fuck. He's just arguing with people. You don't need to, like, you're spending time on your platform just bringing up beefs. Like, you know, like,
bringing up beefs and stuff.
Like you're just adding to the beef, you know? So in a way, he definitely is his own enemy, but I definitely do respect his craft. You know, he's definitely like at the journalism media game. Like he's definitely ahead. He's definitely one of the top views in the culture. So yeah, he's the one that brought this conversation up. And I think it was in pertaining to both, we saw recently that Jay-Z sold half of Moet to, was it Moet?
Was it Moet or Ace of Spades?
Yeah, half of Douce Ace of Spades to Moet Hennessy, the brand. And it's kind of like a European brand. And he was just like, yo, this is supposed to be like a black, you know, brand. You always tell black people drink this or you're supporting black, but now you sold half of it to this fucking, the whitest dude you can find, man. They're Europeans. So that's kind of Act's take on that. And then same thing with Tidal. We saw recently that he sold majority shares in Tidal, right, to the owner of Twitter, right? So academics' take is just that Jay's whole thing is, you know, support me because, you know, you're supporting black businesses. You know, same with Joe, drink Ace of Spades. Don't be drinking that other champagne in the club because you're supporting a black entrepreneur. Same with even his pitch with Tidal, you know, like support artists. Like he's like a bunch of you got a lot of artists to be investors. It's like you're supporting the musicians when you go with Tidal. But now he's literally sold majority of it to the opposite of musicians, how I see it. Like this Twitter dude is a billionaire.
You know? The way I see it, it's like he kind of like did something where he was just like, all right, I'll go make your money for 5 years. And then when I find it, and I will find it, because I remember he was announcing it. I don't know if you guys remember a long time ago, but it's like you had a special deal with like Tidal or whatever. Like he always had like those type of moves where he would make. Remember when Magna Carta came out? If you had a Samsung, it would.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that was title, but yeah, I remember.
It wasn't title, but like he has like those type of moves like that where he's like, if you had a Samsung, because he did a deal with Samsung, and he's like, if you have a Samsung, Magna Carta will be free. You know, you get it free before everybody else. But like he didn't say that until after. He's just like, yo, it's gonna be free. You know what I'm saying? Like exclusive only for Samsung users. That's what it made it seem like. And then a week later, everybody got it. You know, but I feel like he's always doing some stuff right now, like that, where he's just like, yo, for this title situation, he told the artist, I think artist got like a percentage of cut after he sold off or whatever. Man, and I feel like they're like telling artists like, yo, make your money and I'm gonna sell this, so do it quick.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's more. I feel like there's stuff we're not hearing about the situation. I would hope. Like I just don't. I don't know. I don't want to say anything.
I think there's some truth to it. I think there's, I see, as much as I love Jay is also like who like academics said a long time ago is like, yo, you don't become a billionaire without stabbing a billion people in the back, like on the way to a billion. I mean, I'm not saying that Jay is doing it that exact way, but what I took from that quote basically is that, it's not pretty, it's not pretty to climb to a billion. We just want Jay-Z to be this like, yo, I do everything for the Black community. You know what I mean? I give back, like I'm just like, we just want Jay-Z to be like Santa Claus. But the reality is like, it needs to be this other, like you said, like, yo, this venture, we're going to make money on it for 5 years. My plan is actually, I'm going to sell majority of it later on. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think there's the two sides to it. There's the Jay who does things for the Black community, and there's the Jay who is, the Jay who's trying to like fucking make sure his yearly revenue is higher than last year.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame. I don't know.
This is facts.
Makes me sad, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't know if 444 is gonna hit the same anymore. But
I mean, it still will, man. This is who he is, man. We love it when he gets on tracks and tells us he just sold this for this much. Man? Like this is, we love that shit. Like, so
maybe there's a higher plan. Who knows? But yeah.